Yes, sir. Modtricca. Back up in this thing, man. Today, I'm reacting to some creepy TikToks that might send you spiraling down a rabbit hole.
Let's go.
If you live in Colorado or if you live near Colorado, then you may be able to see another high-altitude balloon in the sky. The U.S. military is tracking the high-altitude balloon over Colorado according to the U.S. officials who spoke with CBS News. The military aircraft that spotted the balloon claims that it's not a problem, but the officials are looking into the purpose of the balloon and the U.S. has sent military aircrafts to investigate it. Literally 1 year ago, on February 2023, this happened over South Carolina. The story is still developing, so we still don't know a lot about what's going on or what this is for, but all we know is that it's over Colorado right now and it's drifting east.
There has to be something that we're not being told about these balloons, because there's no way that it's able to fly over Denver at 40,000 feet unscathed and still unidentified, because I know normally we would fly in quick with the boom bound.
Hey, what stage of capitalism is this?
The cereal category has always been quite affordable, and it tends to be a great destination when consumers are under pressure. So some of the things that we're doing is first messaging. We got to reach the consumer where they are. So we're advertising about cereal for dinner. If you think about the cost of cereal for a family versus what they might otherwise do, that's going to be much more affordable.
I'm all for innovation and marketing, but the idea of having cereal for dinner, is there the potential for that to land the wrong way?
We don't think so. In fact, it's landing really well right now, Carl.
When I say cereal, you say dinner. Cereal. Yeah! Cereal. Yeah!
Cool.
The PR department should probably ban him from ever doing interviews again, because that was as out of touch as you can be, especially coming from a CEO who probably never has to worry about that.
Some breaking news that we've been following today. Sources tell ABC News the FBI and Department of Homeland Security are investigating the cause of a massive nationwide cell phone outage. Officials are working to determine if the service disruption is the result of a cyber attack, a hack, or simply a technical malfunction. AT&T customers are slowly now coming back online after thousands of those cell phones went down earlier this morning. The cellular outage affected phones all across the country, with thousands of users reporting issues in cities including New York, Houston, Chicago, and San Francisco. AT&T tells ABC News, quote, "Some of our customers are experiencing wireless service interruptions this morning. Our network teams took immediate action, and so far 3/4 of our network has been restored. We're working as quickly as possible to restore service to remaining customers." Verizon and T-Mobile said they are not experiencing any service disruption.
I'm still waiting on the explanation, because it's starting to feel like Leave the World Behind was foreshadowing. All we got was this apology text that gave no answers.
It was apparently first used by the military to gather information from the battlefield. It's called Smart Dust, but this technology can be used soon to track anything, including you and everyone else. It's a powdered-sized chip. Oh, and it doesn't require a battery. They can be spread around like dust, have it sitting on your skin, or even inhaled without you even realizing, monitoring you in and out. And get this, they're undetectable in your body. Now, with this technology fused with AI, they can start to understand people better than we understand our own selves, and in that way can manipulate us in ways that was previously impossible.
If these are really smaller than a piece of hair and can still operate after being inhaled, then I wonder how else they can be introduced into the body.
Elon Musk is creepy, so he confirms that he's uploaded his consciousness to the cloud and had a conversation with himself. And we all remember when he put Neuralink in the monkey brain and had him playing Pong, but look at this. Now he's tested his first human subject with Neuralink. And I seen something about Greek gematria that I had to check out myself. So I did it. I typed Neuralink in the Greek gematria calculator, and look what I found. Look at all these. We've got the Great Beast, Muhammad, and last but not least, Titan, and the number of Antichrist. And then look at all these, all the way across the board. There's a lot of speculation that he might be involved with the Antichrist, but look at this. So if he's uploading his consciousness to the cloud and having conversations with it, does that make you kind of freaked out about what AI could possibly be? What if AI is a bunch of human test subjects and they just upload all their consciousnesses to the cloud, mix them all together, maybe erase some of their memory, and then now they are the artificial intelligence that we talk to? Weird.
This is just another reason for me to never get the Neuralink, because now there's a possibility that they can just download his consciousness on my device, and now I'm walking around like an Elon clone.
In this video, a lake dries up in China, revealing a past history that's not on the record books. How many times have we heard this story? Unanswered universe.
Now look at this. Now look at this.
I feel like this is either an entrance to an ancient city or an old aqueduct of some sort. But if anybody can read that writing, please let us know.
I've found a lot of weird stuff in the mountains, but today I found the thing that takes the cake. I have absolutely no idea what it is. If it is something religious and you know, let me know. Because I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. I just think it's creepy, cool, and weird. And it was thrown down the side of a mountain, so, you know. But if someone's like, that's this very I tried looking up concrete-filled conch shell with shell face. That got me absolutely nowhere. I'm not, but yeah, I love it, but I don't want to offend anyone by taking their conch man. So let me know.
If I ever hike through a mountain, then I might take home a cool rock or a geode or something, but a conch shell with a face on it just screams voodoo. The person who dove in to get this footage next to a 26-foot anaconda deserves some sort of raise, because not only did he discover a new species, but he did it wearing nothing but a button-up and biker shorts.
The yearly carnival in Brazil just happened, and if you remember my video from last year, it was probably the most demonic and blasphemous thing you have ever seen. People who saw that video couldn't even believe their own eyes. I mean, the floats, Jesus being dragged on the floor, demons elevating from graves, I mean, the list goes on. And this year, it was a lot of the same. Something that I noticed this year is that it was very hard to find footage of the actual carnival. I spent hours watching live streams on YouTube and compiled all of the clips that I could find. Now, I'm sure a lot of these floats represent cultural traditions, but some of these things just went too far, like Jesus Christ being tripped up and tossed around by people in devil horns, a float that literally looks like an Illuminati float, and I have no idea what this is, but if anyone has an idea, please let me know. One thing I did notice is that there were snakes and serpent on like every other float, but it wasn't as bad as last year. Maybe the flood that they got the weekend after made them want to tone things down a little bit, but still the energy at this carnival every year just looks so dark to me, and I just don't understand how there's so many people there celebrating.
A lot of these just kind of look like over-exaggerated biblical reenactments, and I know that carnival is a yearly tradition in Brazil, but I don't know about that Illuminati float.
Someone put this in, I guess, but tell me they don't look like a door. It totally looks like a door.
I would have loved to see him get up closer to investigate, because that definitely looks like a door of some sort, but he probably did the smart thing by keeping a distance.
The more I dug into it, I realized that the Black Knight satellite, which is an object that's still orbiting our planet right now, NASA, it's on NASA's server. It's called, they call it space junk. They don't know what it is. It's been there. The STS-88 mission did a flyby and caught a great HD image of this thing. It's about estimated 15 tons.
It's in our orbit.
Oh yeah, it's in our orbit.
So it's not far out. It's not outer space.
No, it's at Lagrange point 4, I believe.
Okay.
And it's orbiting out there, and it's still there. They won't mess with it because it makes no sense to mess with it. You don't know what type of self-defense system or mechanism this thing may have, but the reason why I think it's important, based on what you were telling me about the gentleman, is because I believe that this thing is watching us. That's what the whole documentary is about. And I have 20 incredible researchers in the documentary, including quantum physicists in the documentary with me, and astrophysicists. I think it's watching us, and I believe that it's using quantum entanglement to transmit everything in real time, what's going on Earth, back to home base at Boetis. and that this could be the grabby civilization that you're talking about.
I learned about the Black Knight satellite years ago, and it still doesn't make sense to me why we send rovers to Mars or to the moon, but haven't sent a single probe to check this thing out, especially since it's orbiting our planet.
Oh, hold on, do it again. Yo! Okay, it's upside down. Kylie, what you put in this? Yo.
I don't know if this is caused by static electricity or there's something in the formula that makes it magnetic, but I can only imagine what will happen if you wear this in a CT scan.
With many different resets and many different civilizations, the question is, how long has this been going on? And have we done all of this before? So, this artifact was found in South America, and he seems to be wearing the first deep sea diving equipment. This is found on a temple in India, and she looks like she's on a tablet, and she looks like she's on her phone. And the origin of this artifact is unknown, but it seems to be the first QR scanner. And this is from ancient Rome, and that looks like a laptop with a USB connection. And he looks like he's on a PC. These were found in a 1,000-year-old mummy, and they're known to be the first ever pair of Adidas trainers. And ancient Sumerians with a nuclear bomb.
If these artifacts are real, then this proves that history truly does repeat itself, because the one statue looked like it was using an iPad with a stylus and everything, and those shoes look exactly like the Nike Air Mag Back to the Futures. I think we just found the perfect kryptonite for AI robots. Whenever they act up, just give them the Vision Pro and they'll short circuit.
I think Hollywood has two agendas. It's profit, but it's also propaganda. I think they want to influence society with these movies, and sometimes that's more important than making the money. And then sometimes the money is the most important. You know, you never know which God, is being served here, which master is being served here, so to speak, because certain things are done purely for the propaganda of it. I think movie companies, for the most part, a lot of them started and were owned by the same people who want to engineer society anyway. It's kind of just part of their portfolio. Some of these folks are so rich, Hollywood's a toy.
And the fact that so many new movies coming from Hollywood all seem to follow the same recycled storyline year after year does start to feel like propaganda. There's only so many ways you can make a rom-com or a hero flick.
A man gets his entire face blacked out. The artist responsible for this goes by the name of Black Prada. Is it just me, or is the tattoo scene evolving more and more into who can get the craziest tattoo? We've seen a lot of fake tattoos, but this isn't one of them.
He definitely has to get a new driver's license photo, because there is no way to explain this difference.
Elon Musk has given an update on the first patient to be implanted with that brain chip from his Neuralink startup. During a live event on X, Elon Musk said the patient is now fully recovered and able to move a mouse cursor around a screen just by thinking. A robot implanted the chip into the area of the brain which controls movement. The first goal of the project is for people to control a cursor or keyboard with their thoughts. Elon Musk says the technology can eventually fully connect the brain to devices.
If I get a chip implanted in my brain, I would hope that it could do more than just move a cursor. These results seem very underwhelming.
Somebody smarter than me, please tell me what the this is. I don't have a clue, and I don't want to wake up in the morning, but it just keeps coming out the ground and stopping and coming, kind of like it pulsates a little bit, but it ain't hot, it ain't cold, it ain't like steam or nothing, it ain't got no smell to it, it's just there, and it's just coming out of this one spot. I don't know.
This question would be better suited for the fire department, not TikTok.
On the back of the $1 bill, there are a lot of important occult symbolism on the back of the $1 bill. On the left-hand side, you'll see the pyramid and the pyramid of Egypt. That's an Egyptian pyramid on an American dollar bill. The significance is very important. Above the pyramid, you will see the words annuit coeptus, which basically means in Latin, our enterprise is a success, or our project has been crowned with success. And the project, which is a success, is on the banner beneath the pyramid, Novus Ordo Seclorum, being Latin for new order of the world, or the new world order. On the bottom of the pyramid, you will see the Roman numerals for 1776. This exact identical emblem of the pyramid within the circle, the Novus Ordo Seclorum, it was not original in America. It was first found on writings that are today in museums in Europe in the year 1774, 1775 by a man named Adam Weishaupt, who founded the Bavarian Order of the Illuminati, a secret society of Freemasons operating in Europe that had designs on the entire world and to bring about what they call a new world order.
Between the Egyptian pyramid with the all-seeing eye, the Latin writing, and the Roman numerals, they should have just went all the way and called this the United States of Illuminati.
I'm not sure, but I think the sky is ripped in half. Come on, cloud, get out the way. Y'all see that line? They go all the way up. Can't see it though. There it is. The sky's turning its hell. Or did something fall out the sky?
It kind of looks like moonlight shining on the side of a long chemtrail, making the other half appear black, which I don't know if that makes it any better than the sky ripping in half, but hey.
A new satellite capable of spying on your every move is set to launch in 2025. The satellite, created by startup company Albedo, is so high quality it can zoom in on people or license plates from space, raising concerns among privacy experts that it will create a Big Brother is always watching scenario. Albedo claims the satellite won't have facial recognition software, but doesn't mention that it will refrain from imaging people or protecting people's privacy. What are your thoughts on this?
They say it doesn't have facial recognition now, but I'm sure that's only one update away.
Bohemian Grove rabbit holes.
I went there once.
Bones.
I got kicked out.
Did you? You went to the Grove?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Why'd you get kicked out?
Weird, I punched a kid in the head.
You punched a kid in the head? In
And
Bohemian Grove?
yeah, it turns out this kid was an infiltrator. So then after that, I was kind of this hero. Like a year or two later, he'd come back. I was like, I'm not coming to your little weird party out in the woods. I was like, I went once. It ain't that cool. We're sitting on this fire. You have these little, they're kind of like tree houses or campsites, but they're really nice. Everyone has a private chef. Got like,
Really?
Yeah, you do share a room. Me and Jimmy John shared a room. That was fun. And I can't remember, kids talking around this fire, and he started popping that. And I just went at him.
Oh.
Gave him a couple, helped him up. It's like, hey, we good? I was at the owl statue. This is hilarious. So I'm there on day one, right? And we're drinking beers. Like, it's pretty laid back. There's some really cool talks. I remember this dude talking about shooting asteroids out that might hit the Earth in so many years, like that. I'm like, this is cool. But the first day, it was the first evening, and you gather around whatever, the owl by this lake, if I remember correctly, which could be a little hazy. It was a long time ago. And like, I've heard about this place. I'm like, this is some real secret, man. I can't believe I'm here, right? And it's just a trove of celebrities. Everywhere you turn, it's just, hey. So you go there, and I'm like thinking, we're going to hear some, right? They're about to introduce the first speaker. And I'm like, this is going to be some. And they're like, and no offense against this guy, we consider him friendly. We have very good mutual friends, but they're like, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Danza. And I'm like, what? I'm like, come on, man. Who's a boss?
Dropping somebody at Bohemian Grove is legendary, but talking about it on Joe Rogan's podcast just ensured that he'll never be invited back.
It would not be the first time that astronomers have sent a message to aliens. In 1977, the Voyager 1 probe made its way into space. Since then, it has reliably sent back data and images from our solar system. Precious cargo is stored on board, the Golden Record, a copper disc that holds music, images, and sounds from the Earth, a way to kindly introduce ourselves to foreign civilizations.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Herzliche Grüße an alle. Bonjour tout le monde.
This cosmic message in a bottle will travel even deeper into interstellar space. By 2025, the probe will run out of its energy supply and continue into the cosmos, uncontrolled.
I applaud the effort, but I don't know how many advanced extraterrestrial civilizations just have a record player laying around. This might make us look a little primitive.
Kanye West is an occultist because his new Vultures music video tells us he is. Never mind the past 15 years of occult symbolism he's been giving us about death and rebirth rituals, alchemy, and telling us that he belonged in the Bible or that he's literally Christ. Let's just look at his latest video. The first stage of alchemy is the black bird, seen here as a vulture. This is the step towards enlightenment in the great work of alchemy. We also see the black sun eclipse, symbolizing the dissolution of the body and getting down to the prima materia, the goal of destruction of matter. We also see the twin pillars Boaz and Yakin, the entrance to the mystical place of Solomon's Temple and Freemasonry. We also see a literal alchemist seeking the formula for the Philosopher's Stone, aka the elixir of life for immortality and man becoming God, probably explaining why the director had an Instagram post of a man drinking blood from a goat and blood sacrifices. The seven-figured hand of glory is a reference to a Yiddish symbol for doing something well, aka great work. There's a ton of Twin Peaks symbolism of hooded guardian figures, opening third eyes, Luciferian angels, portals like we saw at Travis Scott's Satanic Astroworld concert, and it ends with Kanye as the final stage of alchemy, the blazing phoenix.
Kanye has always been different, but with all of this symbolism, it seems like he's trying to compete with Doja Cat for the darkest visuals.
This collection of some 93 standing rocks is thought to predate Stonehenge by around 2,000 years. So this Portuguese formation is actually much older and much more mysterious. Without technology like the wheel, moving these stones would have been near impossible for normal humans. They're so heavy that it's hard to believe that without some system involving wheels, pulleys, that these stones would have been able to be brought to standing. These standing stones are arranged in such a way as to align with the sun, the moon, the stars. On the winter solstice, the shadows that they cast actually point directly to another standing stone some 2 kilometers away.
I feel like the reason why we've been taught so much about Stonehenge but have heard nothing about sites like these is because there's no explanation for how they were built that fits the narrative, so it's easier to just write them out of history altogether.
In 2013, a video was uploaded to YouTube of a trucker talking to a man about a massive underground secret city that was being built in the United States. They had to take this tunnel 100 miles in to reach this place, and apparently there were more of these tunnels. Check this out.
Goes all the way to Washington, D.C., huh? Goes all the way to Washington, D.C. Yeah, you security? Yeah. How far have you taken this? Down to, how far have you actually ran a load? From 100 miles? Up to Maine? No shit. How many miles do you think that is? Man, that's unbelievable. Not to mention, I heard there's one that goes all the way to Colorado, right? Unbelievable. What do you think you're hauling? Any idea? Crap. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Crap makes all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't really know.
Yeah. I know there's been a lot of military stuff being hauled around lately, that's for sure, huh?
Yeah, we deliver to military.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. 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 Well, I appreciate I heard this water supply, food supply, everything's in there. Yeah, unbelievable.
You don't get no cell phone for service.
No. Peace, brother. Basically, you got an underground roadway system here that runs all the way to Maine, to Washington, D.C., to Colorado. It's fully stocked. It runs completely underground. And this is stocked with food, water, everything they need. It's an underground city. So the north entrance and we're gonna go see if we can do some more digging.
I know corporations use these underground tunnels as cold storage for certain perishable food items, but I'm sure in the case of a doomsday event that they can be repurposed anytime.
This picture is from NASA, and it is their collection of UFO sightings within America. It's the exact same as the missing 411 and
no way.
The cave systems in America. Isn't that not wild? We talked about the Solomon Islands and stuff, and like the cave systems of like where these supposed like giants lived, and I mean just like everywhere, dude. Indian culture, Buddhist culture, they talked about civilization to escape this mass cataclysm of the flood and stuff. They literally had tunnels or cave systems that went into the earth to the hollow earth where they would emerge on another part of the planet. It's not a crazy thing to like come up with.
But like, okay, on the flippity flip, we also used to think that the earth was flat.
Hey. How do you know?
I don't know if there's any correlation, but the bulk of those locations on the map seem to correlate with major U.S. cities. Montana is looking good right now.
It's kind of weird seeing the arms and legs just separate. We have a whole lab full of arms and legs. Worth bearing in mind that when we did AI Day, this version of Optimus didn't work at all. So the rate of improvement here, I think, is quite significant. It's obviously not doing parkour, but it is walking around, and we have multiple copies, I suppose, of Optimus. The thing that I think Tesla brings to the table that others don't have is that we have the real world AI. We're the most advanced in real world AI.
Robots that can assemble themselves combined with artificial intelligence just sounds like a recipe for Skynet.
Everything went downhill after Wendy Williams ate a crow on live TV. For those of you who didn't know, back in 2014, she had made a bet that if Kim and Kanye stayed together long enough or even got engaged, she would eat a crow, in which many people noticed that there was a subtle but rapid change in her eyes. Those of you who didn't know, crows are seen as bad omens in various different cultures, and even if you look at it from a biblical standpoint, it clearly mentions in Leviticus that these birds aren't fit to eat, but can also be seen as rebirth, which may explain her timeline.
I hope all is well with her health, but in retrospect, eating crow over a Kim and Kanye bet was a terrible idea. They didn't even last long.
Finally tonight here, the landing on the moon. Tonight, the first image just in, and what we just learned about the lander itself, now on its side. Gio Benitez, again tonight.
Tonight, the stunning first image being sent in from the lunar lander Odysseus, nicknamed Odie, taking this photo 6 miles above a crater near the moon's south pole. Odie touching down just minutes before we came on the air last night.
Congratulations, IM team.
Tonight, we've learned Odie hit a rock during landing, ending up on its side.
Caught a foot in the surface, and the lander has tipped like this. And we believe this is the orientation of the lander on the moon.
Incredibly, the majority of the payloads on board Odie still working, along with its communications. And that landing almost didn't happen. Just 2 hours before touchdown, Odie's laser navigation system failed.
Was not intended to be the primary landing system on this.
The team quickly creating new software in just 2 hours, putting an experimental NASA laser system into action. The lander taking an extra lap around the moon, allowing time for that last-minute switch. Then Odie finally landing on the moon's south pole. So, David, the next big question now, why aren't we seeing more images? Well, they tell us that unlike the Apollo missions, Odie is on the dark side of the moon, so it's very difficult to get images back from there. But, David, they say that Odie is trying.
They were able to land just fine in the 60s, but in 2024, we get tipped over because of a rock.
We're good.
When it comes to the element of surprise, then this definitely takes the cake because nobody is expecting a Prius to pull up with a turret and it's eco-friendly. But with that being said, guys, that was the video. Thank you for coming to kick it with me. Let me know what you guys thought about these creepy TikToks in the comments below. And until next time, y'all take care of yourself.